All honor, praise, and glory be to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Wahakadash Shokah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders over at the great millstone who rule well of Yahshua, who I believe to be the true elders of Yahshua. Yahshua being Hebrew for Israel. Alright? Peace and blessings to you brothers out teaching this truth across the four corners of the earth where we have been scattered to. Shalom wa barakim laha aman bakiyar. Which is to say peace and blessings to the faithful elect and to you, the rest of the hopeful elect, women and children, friends of the prophets. I say peace and blessings as well. So pretty much here in Chicago, all hell broke loose overnight. I did a watch. This is a quick watch warning. I just did it. Did one, but it ended up getting deleted. Phone ended up dying. The power was completely out due to a tornado watch. I'm over here in front of a candle right now. There's no telling when the power will come back on. It's not like I'm vlogging or nothing like that, but just so brothers can be aware. This is Esau can definitely use this. I wouldn't be surprised if he did to not cut the power back on, which is kind of alluding to my point of the watch warning, which is due to these things, these activities that took place overnight and wound up ending in the morning. This morning is Salakia. Wound up ending this morning is it's something me and the brothers was actually going over. It was with the brothers. We was in the spirit last night or whatever, and not even a whatever, but in the spirit, and I was just believing about it. I'm like something's about to update. It was an update that was due that I pretty much felt in the spirit. Where I'm at with the spirit right now, and lo and behold, this ended up happening overnight. Like over 100 people was arrested due to somebody being shot on the south side. And it's pretty much how I'm seeing this. It's kind of like almost a setup, man. The Lord, he ordained in all of it, so he's pretty much doing it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Esau keeps the power off and martial law be announced here. It's one of the first states to actually be put under martial law the way things are going. And this is some images which is spiritual. You got Trump, the Trump Tower in the back. This is spiritual. This spirit image right here. It says, "Take you, I take you until forever," and then it say "forever mark." And this is the end of all things. That's pretty much the world is ending as you know it. They can't keep up. The Lord's gonna keep create. He got these spirits created. Let's get that real quick. It's a quick watch warm. Let's see. Let's start with that first. 1 Peter 4:7. And it reads, it says, "But the end of all things is at hand. But be ye therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent charity among yourselves." So with the fellow believers, none of the fakes, none of the people that can't decide, none of the people which is all the same with the wicked. For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. And it said, be sober. Like I'm, looking through the articles, and here it is, Paul George and Damian Lillard's beefing about how he's going home this year. It's crazy, man. And the world's in it. It says, we jump to the point, use hospitality. Well, let me jump down some. It says, use hospitality one to another without grudging, as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Yahweh Shema Shah. For instance, I was just believing there was going to be an update that took place, and it took place pretty much overnight. Didn't even know it. 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua give it, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and all things may be glorified. Because we doing what we do through the spirit and power and grace of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yahweh being the name of the Father, Yahushua being the name of the Son, who people call Jesus and God. All right, it says, which Yahweh give it, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as some strange thing has happened unto you. Because this is the process. The brother Kazak, Hazaquan, he said he don't like being called that, but, it is what it is. It's going to be what it is, But he was just saying, going into, how IURC, they got blood on their hands, telling people it's not going to be any Jacob's trouble. He meeting IURC members, which they all over the place. I met tons of them, or a good amount of them, enough of them. And they all just completely, they know they're Israel, but they're of a completely different perception of the reality of the matter. And it's due to them being lied to by the false prophets and the so-called Bishop Nathaniel, who doesn't even teach the name. And guys are talking about Yahweh Shah just going to come back before anything happened, which is crazy. Like he said, it's like the Lord won't even keep his own word or something. But anyway, so moving on. This is Amos 5, Amos 3 and 6. And it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? So I'm not worried about anything. As I said in the last one, I'm not worried about shit, man. It is what it is. I'm with the Creator. I believe in the Creator who's causing this destruction due to the wickedness. And we telling you about it, and it's happening. Amos 3 and 7. Surely Yahweh Ba'ashem, the Lord will do nothing. The Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. The lion hath roared. The lion hath roared. Who will not fear? The Lord God hath spoken. Who can but prophesy? So if you're afraid or not, scriptures tell you can do nothing for the truth but for the truth. So, and it tell you, believe in Isaiah, the wicked of Israel are afraid, or whatever, however, Salakia, paraphrasing. All right? But let me get the scripture I was alluding to. This is, what is it, Sirach 39 and 28. It say, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. So these jakes, these people, these so-called rioters and looters, they can't be stopped, man. They're continuously wounding the economy of the city of America. Whatever city it happens in. We have Portland reportedly protesting for almost 3 months, probably still now 3 months straight, with violence. Though they weren't even reporting it, and then here they come sending in these federal federal troopers, but they were saying they wasn't stormtroopers and all this other crap, and it's all due to those spirits being put on these people to lay on vengeance. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And it's gonna get crazy out here. These just people. The Lord gonna release animals in a minute. All type of stuff. All right. So let me just go back real quick, and that's what you see here. Spirits created for vengeance, like a bunch of animals ran through here, man. You know. So the forever mark. Then of all things, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. You telling people, because like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep the power off here, and then they just use these tactics to go ahead and get everything going. Because they already said the vaccine is mandatory in Texas, which they already been advertising to have a chip with it. You know, and this is about to spread. Everything's being closed down. The Big Ten football conference, they just declared the football season is ended. It hasn't even started. It's ended already. I don't believe it started, but the season wasn't even going if it did start it. And it you know, up and running for real. Not even a quarter of it, and it's done already. And the Big Ten is one of the top conferences in the collegiate football. Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12 are brothers who know. You know, brothers and sisters who may know. So that's Ohio State, that's Iowa, that's Illinois, that's the Huskies, that's Michigan State, that's the Michigan Wolverines, that's all Penn State, that's all those big schools, man. They won't be playing any football this year. Finish. Okay? Now, I got some articles that I want to get real quick going into this. See, hundreds ransacked downtown Chicago businesses after shooting because somebody got shot on the south side. The mayhem brightened the national spotlight that has been on Chicago for weeks after a surge in gun violence. Because this thing's finna end. It say that it's finna increase. It's gonna get crazy because this is light. This is nothing, man. This is light. You know? You know, it's not the end. The chip still gotta come. World War III has to still come. We just don't know how. We don't know how to. We know it's gonna be mandatory, but we don't know how the devil, so-called white man Esau, is gonna cunningly make it mandatory. We know World War III is gonna happen. We don't know exactly how, but it's gonna happen. We see how it's forming, but we don't know exactly how it's gonna happen. We know the time frame and the things that's gonna be going on when it happens. That's what we're saying. So I'm not worried about anything, because I'm with the power that's forewarning people, forewarn me, you know, to forewarn the rest. Shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord have not done it. I'm with the power that foretold it. He declared the end from the beginning before it even happened, that you couldn't give the reward to anybody else. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah 46. It ain't too much to say in this, man. It's just going by spirit right now. Let's see. Because he said he did it so you wouldn't be able to say. I'm going to go ahead and get that. 46:10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. All right. Now, he goes on to say, he does it like that, and he still does it like that, because one, he doesn't change. But so, yeah, here we go. Isaiah 48:3, I'm going to start at. I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out my mouth, and I shewed them. I did them subtly. The Lord is a man of his word, he's saying. So IUIC, you bugged out. Bishop Nate, so-called, you're bugged out. You teaching that false. That's false, man. All that stuff you teaching is false. It's clearly destruction that got to happen, man. It's clearly a tribulation that got to happen. The Lord clearly has a name. And the name Yahweh woke you up and put you in that position you in. So how you know, it's just, that's it. Because it's not nothing personal, man. You guys not right. Anyway, it say, I did them suddenly, and they came to pass, because I knew that thou art obstinate, and thy neck is an iron sinew, and thy brow brass. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee. Before it came to pass, I shewed it to thee. I shewed it thee, lest thou shouldest say, mine idol hath done them, and my graven image. So before all this stuff happening, guess what? The only name that has the destruction that's continuously being said before it's actually passing is the name Yahweh. It's not going under the name Jehovah. It's not going under the way Most High Christ bless, the phrase. It's not going under Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. It's not going under Ahaya. You guys ain't out here prophesying saying Ahaya gonna do nothing. Because Ahaya not gonna do shit. It's Yahweh who gonna do everything. In the name Yahweh Shai. Now say otherwise. Alright? Now it says, Jake gonna play brand new. It say, Salakia. It say, lest thou shouldest say, my idol have done them, and my graven image, and my molten image, have commanded them. Yahuwah, none of that. Yehoshua, none of that. Yeshua, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. That's all these things that's getting ready to happen. That work has been awarded to those names. So when it comes to pass, that's who did it. All right? They say, thou hast heard, see all this, and will ye not declare it? I have shewed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them. All right, so that's pretty much, I'm going to stop right there. So the Lord, he makes sure he has it said under him. And it can only be said under him, because he said he's not going to give his glory to another. See if I can get that real quick. You know? Salakia, give me a second. So that work, that the power that, you know, that has the air still flowing, the trees still standing, even though he knocked some trees down here in Chicago, but that power's not gonna give that glory to anybody else but who he is, and that's Yahweh, and in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. That's why you don't hear these things, man. How you gonna kill you, man? Jehovah, he gonna. That's not how it's going down. See, Isaiah 42:8. It says, I am the Lord. That's actually, I am Yahweh. See, because it say, I am the Lord, that is my name. That's actually a title, so that name not really right there. The name is really right there. The Tetragrammaton. 4 ancient symbols. Right? The phonetics. YHWH. Yah-ha-wah-ha. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yahweh Shai. I am Yahweh. That is my name. And my glory will I not give to another. Neither my praise to graven images. See? Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. He said, he tells you of them. So whoever had this truly said, he tells you of them, and he was going to put a name with it. So you will know. He to be. Hawa. He being Yahweh. Yeah, he said, I am. But if I go tell you that he said, I am, I'm not going to say he said, I. See, I got to say he. He said. So I'm going to say he is. He said he is. Because he told me I am. So he is. How do you say that? Or he to be. It's Hawa. All right. So that's what's going on. The mayhem. So back here, hundreds ransacked downtown Chicago business after shooting. The mayhem brightened the national spotlight that has been on Chicago for weeks after a surge in gun violence that resulted in more homicides in July than any month in decades. President Trump, who has repeatedly criticized the city's handling of the violence, recently, the devil got some nerve, but they want all this. As it tells us in Revelation 12, they getting ready to come down with strong wrath, man. It said recently, and the mayor's in cahoots with them. Anyway, it say recently, and if either way, however it may be, it's either that or you guys are truly separated, like Yahweh Shah said, that Satan's house divided, because you're definitely in the house of Satan. This so-called Lightfoot. But anyway, it says, who has repeatedly criticized the city's handling of the violence, recently ordered more federal agents to Chicago to take part in what Attorney General William Barr called classic crime fighting. So that's pretty much it. It say for further ratcheting up the tensions in the city was a video circulating on Facebook that falsely claimed that Chicago police had shot and killed a 15-year-old boy, posted at 6:30 p.m. And that type of stuff don't really go on here, like on that level. You know, and they know it's that's what I've been basically meditating on. They want pretty much they're gonna hit the areas that Jake is highly concentrated in, man, and the worst of the worst Jakes, and that's here in Chicago, in New York. They're gonna get you in Cali too. A lot of you Issacharites out there, and you gang bang heavy out there, so they definitely gonna hit those places. You know, those really the whole Midwest range are gonna be unlocked. It say sudden in the coast, and they're gonna get the south, and all the little in between areas Jake don't hit, those probably be hit last, maybe. It say Sutton, but they're gonna be hit. The whole state, the whole U.S. is going under martial law. It say Sutton. Sunday, the video shows upset residents confronting officers near the scene where the officer shot and wounded an adult suspect who they said had fired at them that day. By Monday morning, it had been watched nearly 100,000 times. So, word got to Jake. No spirits that was created for vengeance brought forth these sore wounds, man. The city's scarred, and it is like they tell us in Jeremiah 50. Surely Babylon, we would have healed Babylon. Let me get it real quick. Yeah, Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. Because I had the previous video warning I did, which is pretty much a redo with different articles now. It pretty much is a main street downtown. It was a magnificent mile where all the so-called tourists come from all over the world, from all over the U.S. Here, that's how we know this the daughter of Babylon, man. That's making all the nations drunk. See, verse 7, Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. But it say Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. So it's like Salakia, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. But anyway, it say we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. They say forsake her. So herbs and all the remedies won't be able to treat her. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. So you so-called Chinese, don't come back over here, man. You so-called Japanese, which is actually you're the Ammonites, the Chinese you're Moabites, and you actual African, so-called Africans, which you're not, because that's a so-called white man. You Hamites, don't come back over here, man. Or you're gonna die in America. If you don't die here, you're gonna go into slavery. And you East Indians, red dot Indians, you're gonna die by a nuke. And Esau's own destruction, self-destructive ways of life, you're gonna die by. But that's what a lot of you seeing. They're saying, "Let us go, everyone, into his own country, for her judgment is reacheth unto her. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." Because they're gonna be getting America's the so-called white man. He's gonna be getting punished by the chariots. They're gonna be in the sky receiving judgment. All right. So that's pretty much that. I don't pretty much got too much more to say on the matter. Martial law is definitely coming. I guess I can close out with that. 13 cops injured. And there's one last scripture, one last article I want to just show real quick. The Mayor Lightfoot says we're coming for you. You see? So we know Esau's getting ready. He's coming. Those troops. Chicago mayor threatens looters after 13 cops injured and more than 100 arrested. See, we are coming for you. So what does that mean? You know, let's be clear. We are coming for you. We are already at work on finding you, and we tend to hold you accountable for your actions. Lightfoot said, addressing and looting participants, there is no justification for criminal behavior. Now, the thing is, the scriptures say it was going to be uproars of the people, which I'll get real quick. Your word not going to stand, especially once you deem it unsafe for the rest of the people who probably wasn't involved. You're going to enact the law known as martial law, state of emergency, then martial law. But then you're going to be pushed out the way, and they're going to unleash habeas corpus, which is the deletion of all citizen rights. See if I can get it. This thing be tripping, man. But yeah, it's the second address. I get it. Don't worry. Let's see. It say, yep. It's gonna go down, man. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. But I wanted to get the, so I don't even think. It's called Uproars of the People. Anyway, it's gonna be insurrection. But anyway, this is Second Ezra. This is what I'm talking about. 15 and I'm gonna start at 12. All right, listen to this, and that'll be it. But I'm gonna let you hear this first. Verse 1 says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." All right, so you still got niggas sitting around. Well, I'm going to just shut up. I'm just saying nothing. I'm not even going to figure out if I should try to make sense or not. I'm going to just, it tells us in the scriptures, the Lord, he said the fool is not even going to stand in his sight, man. So you niggas that's not sitting around trying to make any sense, you're just going to shut up. That's not smart. That's not smart at all. But anyway, and that's truly an act of unfaithfulness. Because it say, seek the Lord while he may be found. But anyway, fear not, it say, behold, verse 5, it says, behold, the Lord, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the earth, sword, famine, and death. It's like a sword, famine, death, and destruction to the world of Esau. You see? For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So it's enough done now. We're in those times. The power is completely out in the area I'm in. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Esau keep them off. You know? That's a famine. No power. There's no hot water. There's no damn stoves. There's none of these things, man. That's famine. All right? But I'm not worried about anything. Because I'm with the power that wants to do this. I'm not against him. Okay? I want this destruction to come. So we can get the hell out of here. The believers. The rest of you unfaithful, you're going to die in your unfaithfulness, man. All right? Now let's jump down. This is verse 12. It say, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten, with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and with fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, to raise wars, swords in their hands. Because they've been trying to, that's why these last 5 years, they've been spending it on trying to collect people's guns and revoke people's so-called gun rights. But they weren't able to do that. They say, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. During these times, you know, it's people who probably didn't prepare. So what are they going to do when they went out? They're going to see who was prepared. They going to run in your stuff, man. They say, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. That's anarchy. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So Lightfoot, she could say whatever she want to say, but that nothing's being done. The violence is still increasing. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. What did they just do? They just released new checkpoints. So if you get caught at a checkpoint, it's possible you go into quarantine for 14 days. So-called for 14 days. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. You're not gonna give us justice. This is Egypt all over again. Let my people go. Nope, your heart's hardened. You're not gonna listen. And here it is, and all you so-called white people, you heathens, you getting ready to go into slavery. For the very fact, here it is, people chilling. They think if they're so-called not bringing the problem, which they really are, but they don't think if they're writing the laws to hurt people, shooting the guns, to get the Black Lives Matter protests going, you know, that they're not a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. Because here it is, you going on living during these times, like, hey, I couldn't wait for this place to go down. But you went on living knowing, some of you, that living like everyone's equal, knowing that everyone on the planet Earth is not equal. The Israelites is above all people. And most of you know who the Israelites are, the true Israelites. You look at them every day destroyed. You're getting ready to go into slavery. All right? And you're going to die if you don't. And when you die, you're coming back into slavery. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed. The houses shall be destroyed. Salaki, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. And men shall be afraid. You know, a lot of these men, so-called men, going to turn into little girls. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Because you're going to be without. Here we are in the dark. You know how many people don't got, candles? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't worried about nothing. You know? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, the Lord going to give us that spiritual power. We got the angels with the hedge. It's going to get ugly. And spoil their goods. See? You know how many people stocked up and prepared? These nice homes, you Edomites. Us Jakes, most of us not in those homes, man. And I ain't gonna put that on us, but you got a lot of people, other nations, and your own nation that ain't in those nice homes stocked up. You think you just gonna have that all yourself? No, this is just telling you, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. So a fellow so-called white man who ain't got it like you, it say, watch the movie The Road, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See? But these guys, some of us know tribulation is coming. So that's pretty much it, man. Lord willing, this has been edifying. But we're gonna be all right, man. You know, those that believe we're definitely gonna be all right. This is just for your reassurance, and that's showing it. We're gonna be all right. So you say, verse 2, 2 Ezra 9:2. Well, let me start at 1. He said, he's answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee, then shalt thou understand. It is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, there it is. That's what's going on. See? Black Lives Matter is everywhere, so-called, and we're not black. And that's actually an LGBTQ movement, if that's how the so-called acronym goes. But anyway, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And that's what he always promised. That's how he gets down. You're going to remember hearing these things on the corner, certain things you thought to be statements you thought to be rhetoric from a so-called black man, a nigga, so-called wetback or something. You're going to remember something they said, key, and you're going to see, you're going to be like, you're going to try to say his name. You're going to faint, man. But anyway, it say, for like as all that is in the world for like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. And the end is manifest, it's clear. Even so the times also, let me jump to the point. So that's what we know. Verse 7. Well, I'll read that too. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Bunch of chariots been seen. We seen a blood moon. We got the wheel. You know, me and the brother Mahar, we seen tons of chariots shooting all throughout the sky. But anyway, verse 8. Brothers having dreams. You know, as he said, he's going to pour out that spirit upon it. Our young men and women and children, etc. Old men. It says, and at verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So it's already set up, It's a reserve list. And those people that's on the reserve list are going to go on to do the works, have that faith, prove that faith by their works, that faith they believe, things that it took. We understood it took. That's considered the faith. It said we're going to be preserved from the said perils. We're going to see that salvation. We're going to be saved from our enemies, man, and all harm. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, as they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. So you're going to be left here, rest of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Those of you that don't and aren't on the reserve list, you will be finished. You will know that you were part of that 2/3 number you probably heard about. You know, you're going to die in America. But anyway, Lord willing, this has been edifying. Martial law is coming. And don't be surprised if it kicks off sooner than you thought. It could. You know. So it say Isaiah 59 and 19. It say, I'm gonna start at 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries. Everybody that oppose him. You going with your own way. I don't know. I believe that Bible. You oppose him, Lord. Regardless if you think a so-called white man wrote it or not. Regardless if you think it was a true one. You had no faith to even, and sense to even find out and actually go into it to see if that was true or not. You just, with that Bible. Okay. So you're an adversary. Fury to his adversaries. Recompense to his enemies. According to their deeds, accordingly, he will repay. Fury to his adversaries. So just how high and mighty you thought you were right, never to see if the Lord was right. Recompense to his enemies. That's how he's gonna reward you. To the islands, he will repay. Recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. And it's like the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. All right? So that's that, man. And the Redeemer shall come unto Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob. So the Lord only saving certain Jakes that get it, saith the Lord. And that enemy gonna come in like a flood. Remember Hurricane Katrina? All that water? Well, in the scriptures, flood and waters is known as people and men. And that's those FEMA camps that's going to be filled up by those so-called stormtroopers. All right? So Lord willing, it's been edifying. Shalom.